My name is BJ Larson. I own Social Proof, and I am a social media management agency. I've also got a software that I'm not going to dive too much into previously. Tanya has some videos of me going through the platform in the past. Go through her YouTube video. It's the same. It's the same. But I also have a done for you agency. That's super cool. I've gone through all of that. But this is where you can join my mailing list. So this is kind of your first call to action to jump into my mailing list. I email tips and tricks. Perfect. I love that. Dee Dee, you might be my favorite as well as Martha. I see you snapping pictures over there too. So first, we've already discovered that people don't film content, right? And this is, if you go through Tanya's content and a lot of her training, it's literally like begging, like post, somebody post, do something, right? We can't just hope that agents or clients are going to find us just because we posted last April, right? So let's go through, how do I change my slide here? All right. So to post, what I'm doing on this, and I guess the best title for this one, Tanya, would probably be get rid of your excuses or no excuses. I'm getting rid of every single excuse that you have possible, right? Because if you don't know what to post or what to talk about, ChatGPT is a thing. There's a site called AnswerThePublic.com. Definitely write that down. You can type in a keyword there. It will tell you what is trending on Google. It'll also tell you what keywords are trending on YouTube, as well as Bing too, which is also really helpful actually, because Bing is partnered with ChatGPT. So it may not seem relevant, but Bing is what is searched for when you search for something on ChatGPT. So it is still kind of relevant in that area. So we're going to start with the scripts, right? We've got our idea. And here is the entire format to the perfect script. And I'm going to show you, I've got some stuff going on here that I will show you as well. But first we've got a hook, right? We've seen the hook. We know exactly what that is. It's supposed to be a question. You have 3 seconds. And if I'm honest with you, in short form, you have less than 1 second. And I know that sounds like it's really, really quick, and it is really quick because short form content, we have no attention span as human beings anymore. So we have to do anything we can, whether that be literally standing up and sitting down in your chair. That could be a hook too, right? So just some type of movement or something that's going to stop them from scrolling. And then you've got your bumper, or it can also be known as like an animation or something like that. Your intro, your call to action, the value, right? The meat and potatoes of your entire video, and then another call to action, and then your outro. The importance of why we have 2 call to actions in here is one is going to be, hey, subscribe to my channel because we upload this many times a week. We've got all this value. Here's the problem that we solve on this channel. The last CTA is going to be, again, like and subscribe, but it's also going to have something, maybe it's a CMA. Hey, reach out to me on my website. How do we get them off of YouTube and onto where you want them to go? Onto your website, onto a form, on Google form, type form, whatever it may be. You want their information. And that is typically, hey, check the link in the description. All the information's in the description. You've heard all of those videos. Does anybody have any questions on this? I'm going to break down what an entire script would essentially sound like without the value portion of it. But so basically the example that we're going to be going through today is 5 life-saving tips that will transform your home buying journey, right? This was all generated by ChatGPT. I put no effort into this, except for the presentation and being up on time. So the hook sounds something like, are you ready to buy your first home, and are you about to buy your first home and feeling overwhelmed? Stick around as I give you the 5 life-saving tips that will transform your home buying journey. That is the entire hook. That there is nothing else to that. And then you throw something in like a bumper. A bumper. I don't think my sound is sharing here. Let me see if I can. Is my sound showing on that side, Tanya? Oh, now it will be. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so a bumper looks something like this. If you've seen any TV show at all, this is, and if you've seen Tanya's content, it looks like this. Some type of branding, some type of collage. It could be photos. You can do this in Canva. There's a great website I like to use called Video Bolt. That is literally plug and play. Drag and drop everything into there, and it will create this for you. Right? So what you're going to do, you want this to be less than 6 seconds. because you don't want to take too much time, right? It's like, hey, are you looking for 5 life-changing tips to buy your first home? Boom, right into your intro. And then we're going to jump into the intro. We're going to repeat that once more, right? So buying your first home is a milestone, but it can be filled with uncertainty. Today, and listen to the format of this, right? Because it doesn't have to be exactly these words, but it does have to be this format. So buying your first home is a milestone. We're acknowledging the problem, right? We're acknowledging the emotion that that the viewer may be feeling. Today, we're going to be breaking down the process in 5 easy steps to give you the confidence that you need. So it's telling you, hey, in the remainder of this video, this is what you can expect, right? People don't like clickbait. We don't want we want to make sure that we are able to deliver that value. So don't make videos about something that you really don't know anything about or something that you can't actually deliver content on, because it's only going to leave people upset, right? Welcome back to my channel, where we insert your problem, where we help first-time home buyers, or where we help, help people achieve the dreams of home ownership, whatever it may be. Insert that. And if you're new here, you're CTA, don't forget to like and subscribe. And because we add value-packed content daily, weekly, whatever your routine is, I do recommend at least once a week. Truly, like if you can't do once a week, every other week, you could probably get away with it. But we're all about compressing time frames here, right? We've seen the market going crazy lately, and we know that right now, and honestly, there's a gap that needs to be filled in the real estate market, right? Everything going on with NAR, there are a lot of, I don't know, people are just unstable. They don't really know where they're going next, right? There's not a lot of stability that is going to be coming out of the market, except for the ones that are already doing this, right? So if the consistent agents, they didn't even blink an eye, right? But if they're already doing their content, if they know how to go and find their leads by themselves, they don't care about anything else, they can adjust to everything, but big market share, right? And then we're going to get into the value. So this is the most important part. I like to use what they call listicles, meaning numbers, right? The 3 easy steps to do this, the top 8 ways to whatever. Try to keep it around 3 though, maybe 5, but there's just something about the power of 3s, right? The power of thirds. It's in everything. It's in camera, it's in video, it's in, I don't know, they say celebrities go in 3s. Everything happens in 3s, right? 3 is company, whatever it may be. And then we've got our call to action. So after we've delivered all of the value, we want to jump in. Remember, knowledge is key. For more insights and tips, like, share, and subscribe. Check out our comprehensive home buyer's guide in the description below. Meaning, hey, subscribe to my channel, but also I've got something else for you. And this could be freebies. A lot of people use ebooks. Some people use, Tanya has workbook upon workbook upon workbook of just a bite-sized portion of the value that she can bring. And there's only more when you become a part of her inner circle, right? And let's jump into, so that's the script. Does anybody have questions on the script, on the format, or what it may, generating ideas, anything like that? Perfect. Okay, so there is the number one reason that people don't film, right? The entire script is taken care of. Now let's jump over to the filming portion of it. So, who is currently filming? Is anybody using YouTube or would like to use YouTube? There you go, Tanya. I was expecting to see that hand. I was about to say, if she doesn't raise her hand, I'm logging off.
I'm no
But
clapper.
because she does, and this is true too, because all of you are a part of this event as well. Like, you're a part of this webinar. This can all be content for you. You don't have to be the person giving all of the information. You could be the person sharing the information, right? Hey, I'm an expert in my city, and I know the best finance person. I know the best coffee shop. I know the best restaurants. I know everything because this is my city, and I'm, whatever it may be. So if you are using Zoom to record your videos, get off of it. Completely get off of it. I know you could tell Tanya and I have had a conversation. I'm going to pick on Tanya a lot because Tanya has thick skin, and I know that she can take it, and we are on the right path, right? And if you look at her page, pay attention to her page. If you're watching this like a year from now, if she's not at least at like 5,000 subscribers, we're doing something wrong, Tanya. But so this is the program that I use. I use Riverside. Another competitor of Riverside would be StreamYard. They're also just as good. There's nothing, I use them for some of my other clients as well. They're amazing. And they have the ability to stream on YouTube, on Facebook groups, on all of that as well. So you can distribute all of your content at the same time. Going live is a completely different subject, and I'm sure I'll talk about that on another webinar at some point. But if you're using Zoom, this is just the difference. Now, mind you, I'm using my phone right now. I'm using my phone camera. Both of these were filmed on my phone camera, right? They were both shot as, they both said they were exported as 1080. It was the same camera, but why does this one look different, right? Because Zoom is just supposed to be for right now. Hey, are you visible? Right? That's all we need you to be, right? There might be a recording, but it doesn't need to be top quality. But the Riverside is my absolute favorite because, again, we've got our script. All you do is open up the studio inside of Riverside. You press record. You take the script that you have and you plug it into, why is that one there? There we go. There we go. You can plug your entire script into the teleprompter inside of Riverside, and you never have to look away from the screen. As long as your camera is lined up, like don't have it like mine right now. I'm not using my webcam, but you can literally just read right off of the screen. After that, you just click generate episode and it will do all of the cuts. It will do all of that for you. Will it add the bumper and everything inside of there for you? No, I'm going to show you how to do that here shortly, but at least you'll have a video that is fast paced. It took out all of the edits. It took out any blank spaces, any quiet spaces, whatever it may be, to get you an entire episode. I didn't talk about this in the presentation, but they've also got something called magic clips. So it also made me shorts for all of my content. Not all of them are useful, so make sure that you go through them. It's AI, so it's doing the best that it can, but at the end of the day, you're a person that knows what people are looking for, right? So if it just doesn't make sense to you, don't put it out there hoping that it'll make sense for somebody else. It's not going to, right? But if you don't want to use Riverside, and we can talk about this too, I've got a referral link where you can get, I think 7 days. It might be 14, but I'm going to say 7 for the safekeeping. So remind me, I will drop that in the chat at the end of this. But if you are using Zoom, go ahead, Tanya.
Keep going. I was going to say, after this, I want to tell you my experience with this last night. And I'm like, I should have listened to BJ all along. Keep going.
Oh man, join the
BJ,
line. There's a whole line of them. We're just kidding.
BJ,
Yes,
does
Stevie.
this cut out does this cut out the ums and the likes when people say
Yes.
and like and pauses?
Absolutely. And you want to
Okay.
know something great about this too is it's got like a slider on there where you can change the pace of the video. Meaning if you want some ums, like if it's a podcast, you're going to want some dead space in there, right? Because it's just part of natural conversation. But if it's short form content and I've got 1 second to catch your attention, I want all of those, like I want words almost overlapping, right? So that's kind of what that looks like. But go ahead and if is anybody not going to use Riverside and would like to use Zoom, this is the way to do it. Just in case, there is a way to enable HD mode on there. Martha, did you raise your hand? I'll keep this up there for you if you want to take a screenshot or a picture. Okay, great. So also the original sound. The sound is, they've got like echo cancellation and all of these other things on there that you can use. Now, mind you, it is still going to look not as good. Is it able to pass? Yeah, you can definitely get by with great content. I've had clients in the past that have had millions and millions of views and all they did was record on Zoom. So I'm not saying that this is the reason for your page not succeeding. The reason for your page not succeeding is that there's nothing on your freaking page, right? That probably makes sense. So let's get into the editing portion.
Can
I
I
use CapCut.
something
Go ahead.
to what you were saying earlier, going back to the quality? So I've made hundreds of videos, and last night I was on Zoom and my lighting was good. I actually have a really good webcam, and it just looked like dog poop. Like it was horrible. And I spent hours getting ready to make the video, the content. And because I didn't have like what is it? The teleprompter. I swear I felt like a video like newbie. And I just remembered you telling me to use Riverside last night, and then also that camera using your camera, your iPhone camera. I'm sure you're going to get into that, but I found
Yeah.
all the things that you've been telling me about for a while. Sometimes I'm a slow learner.
And that's okay. You know, and sometimes it's one of those, and I think of this like a lot in sales. Like I watch a lot of sales trainings and things like that. And it's more like you need to be reminded than you need to be taught again, right? Because it's more, I probably send tech to Tanya all the time. I'm like, here's a program, here's this, here's that, something new, check this out, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it can get a little confusing because I've got shiny object syndrome when it comes to tech. Like my desk moves up and down, which is super cool, but do I need it? Probably not. Anyway, but the next portion that I want to talk about is the editing side of things. So, Tanya, you were talking earlier about people wanting to edit on their phone. Riverside actually has an app where you can just open it up in your studio. It doesn't have the teleprompter feature. I found that out yesterday, as I was filming something for us, but it doesn't have the teleprompter feature on there, but it does work great for podcasts. Is there a coffee shop? I love coffee, but is there a coffee shop owner in town that's, you know, maybe it's a third generation butcher shop, whatever it may be, right? The best steaks in town. Why do you have to go to this place, right? Interview the owner, become the expert of your city, know everybody, know every single person, because they're probably, and not probably, they are not being approached by other agents in that town saying, hey, what's your story? You know, you've been here for your family's been in this place for 3 generations. Now you're taking it over, and you know, we may look at it as just a deli, but this is someone's pride and joy too, just like your business's pride and joy. So to shine light on that and help them get business is only going to say, you know what? Hey, they've got all their regulars. You know who you have to go to? You're buying a house. You got to call Dee Dee. You got to call Dee Dee. I know. Matter of fact, I was on her podcast. I was on her podcast, and imagine the coffee shop saying that, the butcher saying that, the teacher, the parent-teacher conference people, all of that, right? So
I love
let's
that
jump in.
idea, BJ. I love that idea because I have a journalist background and that's what we used to do all the time. The beat is go and interview all these people. So we used
Yeah,
to be, man on the street, go out there and interview. And I love that because people loved those pieces because everything was so negative all the time. So they always look forward to the end of the newscast to get a glimpse of something like that. So, hey, that's
yeah.
awesome if it works both ways to get real estate business. With it too. That's awesome.
So let me ask you this: how did you find those stories? What was your way of sourcing stories?
We would read the paper, walk around, word of mouth. If we were in a social setting, we used to network a lot, go to these events, museums, and different exhibits, and people would talk about, did you guys see this place? Or hey, these guys are new. They just had a ribbon cutting here. So just covering ribbon cuttings too. So we would just hear about them and say, let's interview them. Let's do man on the street and a feel good story. And sometimes that one story about the butcher shop, for instance, would be attached to so many other little stories that just made people feel like inspired and
Yeah,
motivated and it's a feel good story. So yeah, just word of mouth and people would call in or they themselves, the owners would say, hey, I just opened this shop. Would you guys come and cover it if you guys are slow and having a slow news day? So just
yeah.
different ways. Or the news director would give it to us. Mhm.
I love that idea, and I love the fact of the slow news day, right? Because if you don't have content, you should at least have some interviews and things lined up. And Dee Dee, they don't have to be 30 minutes long. YouTube for to be monetized, it is more beneficial for watch time, right? So rather than like count, how long are you getting people to stay on the platform? And I said this on the last training I was on with Tanya. If if you have to choose between watch time and like count, right? Choose watch time, because the equation for all social media is if your page brings them on, keeps them on the platform longer, then the algorithm is going to show you to more people. Why? Because you're bringing more people, you're making people stay on the platform longer. What does that mean? That means that they have more opportunity to put an ad in front of them, which is what monetizes them, right? That's what keeps the business going. And the creators that are keeping people on the platform longer are generating more business for YouTube, more ad revenue for YouTube. And if you get really, really good at it, they'll even share that with you. Now that to meet the criteria isn't a lot. You have to have 1,000 subscribers. Tanya's almost there. And she did that in like 2 months after really like just focusing and making that happen. So it can be done, right? And even sharing, taking clips of this and sharing that type of information is also useful, right? Because this doesn't just work for homes. This also works for recruiting, right? You're an agent, or if you're a full-time agent, tell people how you're a full-time agent, right? This also works for the recruiting side of things, but because you also don't want to have commission breath doing it, right? You want to be like, hey, buy a house from me. And I love this. I love this line, but the example of what I give for how real estate agents post, and feel free to raise your hand if this is you. You post a picture of the house that says pending sale, or no, for sale. Hey, I'm selling a house. Pending. Hey, I could possibly be making some money. Sold. I just made some money. Call me if you want me to help you sell your house. Right? I know nothing about you. I don't know what value you bring. I don't know what differentiates you from my cousin who's an agent who's telling me, hey, you have to use me. Right? Like I have family who are agents who I might not ever use, right? But I would choose somebody local because of their expertise or whatever it may be. And that goes the same with like the finance side of things. So I've strayed, and you'll notice that happens a lot with me. But let's jump over to the editing side of things. I've whipped us up something. Can you guys see? You should see CapCut right here. Okay, so I've whipped up something from us. This is the one. So I pressed on Riverside. I pressed generate episode. Now I went in and I kind of cleaned it up a little bit, but all I did was take out, actually here, I'll play the original for you real quick. This is what the original was.
Right now, right in front of you. All right. I just whipped up a script. It basically is talking about why YouTube is important to your business, right? So I've got my script. I followed the steps from earlier, and now I'm going to start filming. I'm recording inside of Riverside right now, and then by the time you're watching this, we're probably already going to be talking about Canva. So check this out. We are already recording. We are live right now. Do you want to explode your real estate business? There is one platform that is a non-negotiable for your success. And
okay, cool. So you get the point of that. Now, what I did, and I'll show you exactly how I did this.
You want to explode your real estate business? There is one platform that is a non-negotiable for your success, and you're probably already watching it right now. So stick around, and I will tell you the number one reason why YouTube is the most powerful platform that you could be using for your real estate business.
At the bumper.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Right into
My
the
name
intro.
is BJ Larson, and this is your no BS guide to crushing it in real estate. And today I'm going to break down the single most powerful reason why YouTube in your arsenal is everything that you need to launch your real estate empire.
Then we go into the CTA. Hey, if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe. We upload content every single week. And here's the number one reason why. And then we just go into what gives us value, or what value we have to give, right? Any questions on that? How many people would stick around for that video? And it doesn't hurt my feelings. It's there, right? You would probably stick around because I'm handsome and I've got enthusiasm and all that stuff. But what if we just added the difference of this? The difference of a sound effect, the difference of a sticker.
You want to explode your real estate business? There is one platform that is a non-negotiable for your success, and you're probably already watching it right now. So stick around, and I will tell you the number one reason why YouTube is the most powerful platform that you could be using for your real estate business.
Whole different video because of the attraction side of things. It was a sound effect. It just gets people to move. Have you ever heard of, I forgot the actual science of it, but if I forgot basically this guy trained a dog that every time there was a bell, that the dog would expect the food. Well, one day they take away the bell, or every time the dog hears a bell, it starts to start salivating like it wants food, right? What that means is that we're just breaking up the attention span. It could be doing anything. The dog could be in the yard, and then it hears the ding and it knows that it's supposed to go do something. It's kind of the same here, right? Where it's, hey, this was 5 seconds into it. You want something happening every 3 to 5 seconds, whether that be a zoom. So whether that be taking, here, we'll turn this off real quick. Whether that literally just be moving, here, let's do this. Cut here and zoom this in. That's too much.
You're probably already watching it right now. So stick around, and I will tell you the number one reason why.
Those kinds of things. It doesn't have to be zoomed in that much. It's going to come with time and whatnot. But the cool thing about CapCut is. And to access some of these features, they do have a free version. It is limited in some areas, but the pro version has something called transcript based editing, which means that it's going to transcribe my whole video and then give it to me in a paragraph. So that way, if so actually for like some of my clients, they'll be like, hey, BJ, I didn't want that part, cut this part out, whatever. And if I see that on the screen, I don't have to watch an hour and 45 minutes of content. I can just go in there and make it happen real quick. That's all on the desktop version. The mobile side is just as advanced. It is probably the most advanced editing software. But if I'm honest with you, if you're looking to short form works great for on your phone. But if you want to take YouTube seriously, do it on your desktop. It's not that hard. This program is free. And yeah, take yourself serious. And that's like really get in. Everything that I'm teaching you right now is all consumer-based products, right? Anything that you can get on the App Store. I pay for Photoshop and Adobe Premiere and all these things, but that's someone's entire career, right? You're an agent. You don't have to worry about these things. Let's just get you to what needs to happen, right? So
BJ, can I add
if you do have
something?
any questions, please.
So we also, with our team and our network, we have a team of virtual assistants. So if you are in our network and on our teams, we actually have virtual assistants that will, for $6 an hour, they will do all of this for you. So you basically just film it and then they'll do it. And then you follow BJ's strategy after that. And then that way you don't have to do it yourself. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh crap, that's a lot. But I have a team of people that can do that for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you something real quick, and I'll show you why. And honestly, there's a I'm gonna click transcript based editing here, and I'll kind of just like talk us through. This shouldn't take that long to analyze, but I'll show you exactly what happens. This thing will give you all of the edits. It'll give you all of the cuts. It'll take out all of the ums like we were talking about. It does what Riverside does, just in a more compressed like you can do the same thing. So let's say I just want to take out this part right here, right? So I'm like, you know what? I said too much right here, or I can click on here and say remove the filler words, remove pauses, and you'll see sometimes I'll see like 600 ums in a single video, and it truly is just like it's a thing, right? We just say it. So we can press delete, and it took out all of that
platform
for
that
me.
you could be using for your real estate business. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is BJ Larson, and this is your no BS guide to crushing it in real estate. And today I'm
So this whole thing will cut, and I cut the wrong part, but there we go. And one of the really cool things to get this effect, to get those stickers and all that stuff behind you, all I did, and let's do this. All I did was duplicate this right here. And there's a cutout version right here where did my cutout go? And it will cut out the whole background for you. And then I just duplicated it and stuck it on top of it. So it's just playing over itself because video editing works in layers. Now, this all sounds really, really complicated, but I promise you, if you just jump on a call with me, I'll make you a pro in Canva or in CapCut. Canva too. We'll talk about that here in a second. So does anybody have any questions? It might be a little bit too advanced, but I say that to say that Zoom doesn't edit for you. It gives you, if Tanya were to upload the recording that she uploaded right now, they would see everything. They would see, hey, BJ, what's up? Are you ready? Okay, great. Hey, Tanya, before we get on the call, I got to talk to you about this. And then she starts letting people in the room. Riverside will get rid of all of that for you. And you can just upload, even if you don't use a bumper, just be entertaining, right? That's also a key factor. But let's get back to the presentation itself. Let's close CapCut.
Did you upload the YouTube button?
I'm sorry.
BJ, did you upload that YouTube button? Did you have it as you put it in your stock graphics or something?
Yes.
Okay.
So there are a lot of, they do have graphics in there. I paid for, so because I, like a lot of the accounts I'm using are like monetized and whatnot, I always make sure that everything is commercial ready. One of the great things about CapCut is that it has a copyright check. So it'll run through things. So typically if I'm using sounds or sound effects or whatnot, just pay the membership. I think CapCut, I'm paying like $9 for it a month, but there's no limit on what you can have, but also you get cloud storage, which means that if I start something on my phone, I can finish it on my computer. And that's just as useful, right? And that means that I can film on the go. I can go to that bakery and I can film the content, upload it to CapCut, and then take it right back to my computer and finish that. Let's see here. But one of the other great things about Riverside too, I know I'm raving about it, and I really am. Like, if you listen to my podcast, that's all I talk about is how awesome the program that I'm filming the podcast on. Anyway, let's jump over to the thumbnails here. Let's fix this real quick. I don't think you guys can see my other screen, can you? There we go. So you see my editing screen right now? You should see thumbnails. Next. You guys can see? Okay, perfect. So the thumbnails are the most important part of your video outside of the title. The title and the thumbnail could be a training in itself. So I'm going to break down what makes a good thumbnail. And then after this, we're going to go through and we're going to test you. We're going to see which one, because I think that as content creators or somebody looking to jump into content, we tend to step back and forget that we're people who are using the same platform. And what attracts us? We don't really look at it through those lens as much as we're looking at it through branding. Oh my gosh, I need to put my face, I need to put my logo, I need to be in the video. None of that matters. All of my podcasts that have a guest don't have my picture because I don't care. I want to make sure that my guest gets the recognition that they deserve, right? And that means a lot to the guest, right? So the power of thumbnails. Your first impression is everything. It's crucial for your click-through rate. Click-through rate means how many people saw your video and how many people actually clicked on it. So the thumbnails alongside the titles and the keywords are important as well. It works almost like Google, where does anybody have their website or anything like optimized for SEO or heard the term or whatever it may be? It's the SEO is search engine optimization. If I could break down YouTube in the simplest form, it is we want to title our videos and put words in the description that you would go and search for. Are you a first time? Is your video about first time home buyers? Well, we'll just stick to that one. You want to put things like first time home buyers, right? The FHA loans, things that a first time home buyer would be searching for, and not like use this. I don't know. ChatGPT was like the ultimate guide to a first time home buyers, whatever. None of that. Simple words. Thumbnails should be 3, maybe 4 words tops. And what that will do is YouTube will actually just take a clip of your video and make that your thumbnail if you don't already upload your own. So this is an extra step. And it is literally like I've spent 4 hours on one thumbnail at one point, just testing different ideas. I'm trying to see what would make it work, going through different titles, things like that. All right. And things that stop the scroll. You want it to be visually appealing. You also want some like contrast in there as well, right? So like if you've got a black background, put something vibrant or like Dee, you said your colors are red. Is that what was your brand colors?
Mine are gold and black.
Gold and black. Okay, I'm sorry. You said something about red earlier. I forgot. I don't know unless I made that up in my head.
I don't yeah, but
I
it's
don't know.
new, so it just came about. Yes, it's gold
You know what it
background.
was? I'm sorry. It's the video I was watching earlier. I've got an example for us of one of Tanya's videos, but
Okay.
Storytelling in a snapshot. Ensure that the thumbnail is relevant to the video, meaning not only the words, the picture, the face, right? So it could be 3 shocking tips. Don't do this. I don't know. Don't move to Dallas. We'll say that's the thumbnail. Don't move to Dallas. And then it's a picture of Tanya like this, right? surprised, or she's just real, or opposite, she's smiling. It's just a nice like headshot, like a real estate headshot of Tanya. Are you gonna, that doesn't look shocking. It makes me want to move to Dallas. Tanya's nice, let's go to Dallas. Right. But we want something that's like, wait, why the heck does she not want me to move to Dallas? She's a real estate agent. Right. And then you also want to pose a question, things like how to learn this or learn how to, those types of things are always amazing. Or don't do this. People like the things that burn their hands for whatever reason, right? You want that like stovetop moment where it's like, okay, don't move to Dallas because I burned my hand on the stove and I'll tell you why not to move to Dallas. And then the end of the video turns out to be some great things about Dallas or whatever it may be. And then the dimensions. The dimensions are just basic YouTube dimensions, where you want them to be 1260 by 720 is typically the dimensions for that. But if you go on Canva and you just type in YouTube thumbnail, it'll already give you the correct dimensions. It'll even give you some templates as well. Is anybody using Canva pretty much every day for their real estate business? Okay, perfect. So we are in the bread and butter here. So you want it to be, whoops, that's a duplicate. All right. And then maintaining brand consistency. You want people to know, and if you go to Tanya's page, this is something that we've been really, really good at, is that her brand is portrayed all across every single one of her videos. So her page is a little bit different because it's not just real estate, it's also performance coaching and life coaching and things. So each style or each category of video has a different thumbnail that is a little bit different, but it still maintains her brand colors. It's got her logo on there somewhere. It's got a picture of her or her guest, whatever it may be. And then you just want that to be consistent. But when I say brand consistency, I don't just mean between thumbnail and thumbnail. I mean between thumbnail to your website to your even down to like your Linktree page. Is everything cohesive, right? Because if I say Apple, if I told you that Apple built a hotel, you could probably describe what that hotel looks like a little bit, right? You know, it's probably going to be sleek. It's going to be minimalistic. It's probably going to be a lot of white or silver, right? Just based off of the way that Apple's futuristic, right? Or they're cutting edge. But if, or same thing with Nike, you can, their brand consistency is across everything. So I like to play a little game here. Let's see which ones you would actually click on. So we're going to stay interactive. You can choose more than one, but take a look at these and drop in the comments which one you would like, or if you want to turn off your mic and tell me which one and why, which one you would click on. We'll start with you, Tanya. Which one would you click on?
I would click on the top right corner, that life reset one. It looks pretty cool.
All right, biased, a little biased. Outside of number 3, Tanya, which one would you pick?
Outside of number 3, I don't know. I kind of like Ryan Serhant's. I like the money on there. I do like when people say this is what you can get for 500,000 in Colorado or whatever. I like that one too.
Yeah. Which one do you think has the most views?
Ooh. Quit now.
Which one? You said quit now?
Mm-hmm.
It was tied. It was tied. Didi, what about you?
2?
Which one do you like?
I like Tanya's, of course, with little heart. I like Tom Ferry's because of the lady in the polka dot dress who's excited about something. And I can't really see the whole title, but the really beautiful lady with the label pro on there.
Mm-hmm.
She just, the colors and everything are appeal to me. The others look a little too busy and they look like all the others that I've seen with the
Yeah.
grumpy
Martha,
face. They look
what do
like
you
the
think,
others.
Martha?
I like the Show Like a Pro, number 9.
Yeah, that is
Yes.
the number 1, by the way.
Okay, yeah, her
And
colors and the simplicity and the clean way she put it all together.
what do you think her
Exactly.
video's about?
How to show a
Open
house.
houses?
How to show a house. Perfect. Perfect. What about number 1? What do you think his is about?
Getting to closing, but I don't like the way it's on fire.
It had 0 views. It had
Yeah.
0 views. It was uploaded 4 months ago. So whoever this gentleman is, I'm sorry, but uploaded 4 months ago. Now I'm going to break some of these down and tell you my opinion of them. Right? I really, really like this one. One because I'm a huge Robert Kiyosaki fan, because Robert Kiyosaki is his brand, right? So just seeing his face, right? Seeing Tom Ferry is going to make any agent stop. But if I'm honest with you, it's kind of a half-assed thumbnail. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 words plus Tom Ferry podcast experience. There's so much going on here.
Yeah.
What does that mean for outside of us as just human beings looking at what attracts us? I'm looking at what the algorithm actually tells us. So the algorithm on here is going to say, all right, this video is about finding leads and avoiding mistakes. Now this thing got, I don't know, probably a couple 100,000 views. Why? Because it's freaking Tom Ferry, right? Of course he's going to get the views. Can it be optimized? Everybody can always do better, right? And I think if you go into your channel with that mindset, and knowing that you're not always going to keep the same thumbnail. If it doesn't work for a week, even 3 days, change the thumbnail. That's the first thing you're going to want to change. Because something out there is not attracting them, whether it be the title or the thumbnail. Play with those two first. Don't change them too often, because it takes like 24 hours or so for the algorithm to know that, hey, something changed here. We have to find a new audience. But this one, no contrast, right? White with white background. It's really hard to see. Do I regret becoming a real estate agent? It's not bad. It really isn't. All of these performed well, except for this one, and that's the only one I wanted to show you. But quit now, we don't really know what it's about unless you're already a subscriber of his. But what am I quitting? What am I quitting? Right? 5 tips for your real estate investment, and how I made $1 million in 1 year. This, honestly, is perfectly fine. I don't have any complaints about this, because it's telling you, and these are almost the same. This is a little bit more visually appealing, even though they're kind of saying the same thing. There's one is just, I got an extra 0 on it, right? But this one's saying, hey, how I made $1 million in 1 year. This one's saying, hey, how to get to $1 million listing, but it's also more visually attracting. The money aside, I don't care. The difference between $1 million and $100,000 doesn't make a difference when it comes down to the value, right? So I'm going to click on this one, if I'm honest with you, because it just looks more high. I look at this and know that I'm getting value on the other side. Does that make sense? To me, this looks like a vlogger, right? Someone who's just creating content. That's okay too. But if I had to choose, this is the one I'm picking. But out of all of them, I'm picking number 9 every single time. Why? Because it's very simple. It gets the point across. I don't have to guess what it is that what it is that she does. And I know if the title lines up, I forgot what the title is, but if the title lines up exactly and points like, hey, let me tell you how to show a home properly, right? Show it like you're a professional. That's a great one. So, oh, I went a little bit too early on that, but that's pretty much all I've got for you. This is the last step, and definitely take a picture of this. So after you upload your video, I've taught you how to create a script, or at least the structure of how to create a script. I've taught you how to create a thumbnail. I taught you how to literally have AI edit your video for you with Riverside. But after you upload your content, what do you do with that? Where you put it, right? Because YouTube isn't going to just show it. It's not going to show your content to people just because you created it or just because you uploaded it. There's the gentleman out there with honestly, like this thumbnail, this took a lot of time. There's even shadows on the phone and all this stuff. There's flames. It probably took a while to get 0 views. With enough results like that, agents quit, or creators quit, content creators quit. They stop making, because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm posting these videos, I'm consistent, I'm not getting any views. What is happening? Don't expect anything until you get to 100 videos. And I promise you this, don't judge your account until you get to 100 videos. Your challenge, my challenge to you, is to get to 100 videos and just knock it out. Don't care about the views, don't care about the likes, because I want you to think about it this way. If an agent, or if a client poses the question to you, or some type of objective, and you've already made a YouTube video on that, you don't even have to answer the video, or you don't even have to answer them. You can just say, you know what, that's a really great question. I made a YouTube video on that. Go and take a look at that. And now they're in your page, they're looking at your content, and now you're perceived as the expert. So if Tanya's client is watching Didi on YouTube, and now they're coming to Tanya like, you know what, I follow this lady on YouTube. Her name is Didi. She actually just told me why, whatever her objective was. Why do you not think that? And now you, as the expert, right, the one with all the followers and all the likes and all the content, the one perceived as the expert, you're posing questions to someone who has been in, Tanya, how long you been in the industry? Over a
20
decade?
years.
Couple decades. So now Tanya's 20 years of experience is being posed to a 22-year-old with a camera who's just like, hey, what's up, everybody? Smash that like button, blah, blah, like all of this other stuff. And they're perceived as the expert. So what we're going to do, YouTube isn't just going to show you. Matter of fact, Tanya, do you mind if I show your stats on YouTube real quick? Okay.
And I have over 100 videos. Does it just have to do?
You do. Correct. And we're in a stage right now where we're like getting rid of Tanya's old content, right? Because the algorithm knows her for one thing right now, and it's mainly performance coaching, heart surgery stories, things like that. But I'm going to show you where to find the community. Let's see here. All right. So this is Tanya's page. Let's go in here, and when we post a video, we are going to go into the community tab of YouTube. The community tab of YouTube is kind of like posting on your wall, posting on your page. It's a Facebook post. Think of it that way. And people can interact with this. Now, do they have to subscribe to you to see what is happening inside of your community? Yes, absolutely. But what happens when, do you think that how many people in here click the notification bell on channels that they like? So that way they can get notified every time that a new video is uploaded. Is anybody guilty of that? I know we say it. I do as well. We are a different breed. We're a different breed. There's very few people that'll be like, I don't want to hear your stuff every week. I just like this video. But I'll subscribe to them. So that way I don't want to be notified, but I do want to have your stuff pop up on my page. But what if we can post inside of here and tell them that we just dropped a new video? Or we can, let's see, exclusive home tours with Mary. Okay, so let's do this. We can even go in here and have a poll. Hey, what are your best ways? Where do you see this? NAR is all over the place. If you haven't made a video about NAR yet, you're not standing, like, you're trying to get wet, but you're not standing where it's raining, right? Everybody's looking at everything happening with NAR right now. All of my clients, the only thing they're talking about is everything that's happening with NAR, right? Well, did, at least for the last 2 weeks. But we can go in here and say, hey, what's your opinion? Option A, I don't care. Option B, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about changing careers. Option C, I do not know, right? But then they're going to see, this just gets people involved. And it's also, hey, make sure to check out the link to my video. And then you drop a link to the video inside of here. That's one step. And this is where people really do quit, because posting on social media is hard. Matter of fact, I just moved from the Bay Area where it's tech universe. Everybody's like, oh, dude, you're in social media. Super cool. I moved to Idaho. And I live in a farm town, and I told my neighbors what I do, and they're like, I don't know how you do it, man. And these guys are lugging bales of hay all over the place. Like, I don't know how you do it. They're chucking hay. I'm like, dude, I get to sit down all day. The reason I say that is because what we do is social media looks easy until you actually try to do it, and you're like, wait a second, I'm just turning my wheels here, right? Because there are so many other steps that lead up to something, right? Pointing and shooting is easy. Talking in front of a camera is really, really easy, but it comes with consistency. It comes with strategy, because posting to post is waste. It's completely a waste. And this is your brand. This is what people are going to perceive you as the expert by. So posting that, hey, it's my niece's 2nd birthday. Happy birthday to you, little niece, is probably not as advantageous. It's cool. You can do all that stuff too, but we want to make sure we're giving value. Does anybody follow Ryan Pineda? If you're not following Ryan, He's amazing. He's in real estate. He's on the flipping side of things and the investment portion of real estate. But he's posting videos on how he started growing a beard. Like Ryan Pineda, he and I are both blessed with Filipino genes that don't allow us to completely grow a beard until he turned like 32 and he started growing a beard, right? And that's his piece of content. Hey, here's what I did. I took biotin, I did this, and some other stuff. That was a piece of content, and it got so many likes because people already like his brand. And now they care about the other things that he's talking about. Does that make sense? So until you're perceived as the expert, nobody cares what you have to say. Perceive yourself as the expert, and then everybody will want to hear it, as you say. Matter of fact, I think it was during Hurricane Katrina. They did an interview with Ja Rule. What the heck does Ja Rule know about a hurricane? He's a rapper, barely a rapper, right? But he's an expert. He's a celebrity. His opinion matters to people, right? And that alone should say everything. You don't even have to be an expert in that industry. People just have to care about what you're talking about. All right, let me go back to Canva here. I get really passionate. All right, let's see. Can you see my screen here? Okay, so next one, post a poll, share the link to the community tab. You're going to want to take that same link and you're going to want to share it not to your like family and friends Facebook page, but you do need to have a business page for Facebook. Share it there so people can like it. If somebody can add you as a friend on your Facebook and that's the one you're posting on, you're using the wrong page because you're limited to 5,000 friends. You just want them to like your page, and that's how you'll know the difference. If you don't know the difference, I've got a QR code where we can link up in chat afterwards. And then also your groups. Does anybody involved in Facebook groups or have their own Facebook group that they're managing? All right, so first thing, start a Facebook group for your city, for your county, whatever area you serve. Make a Facebook group for that. It could be for everything. It doesn't have to be a place for you to sell everything. It could be a place for people in the community to share. Didi, we were talking earlier about the bakery or the butcher shop, I believe is what it was. We were talking earlier about the butcher shop.
Right.
And now you've got a place to share with your town, with your local community of the bakery that they pass by every single day. Right. And they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that was the story. Oh my gosh, we saw you on Didi's page. I'm a part of this. They won't even know that it's you. You don't even have to be the person attending to that page. You just want people posting inside of there because being the expert in there is more advantageous because now you've got a community of people in the city that you're posting. And here's the science behind it. If I post something on Facebook or let's say it's just on my Instagram, I posted on my Instagram and I'm posting into a void, hoping that the algorithm shows me to the right people. Please be a home buyer. Please be a potential home buyer. Please, this is my YouTube video. I just spent 3 hours on it. I want somebody to see it. Or I could take that same video, still post it on YouTube, but take it to my Facebook group and say, hey, what's up, Idaho? Here's a video about all of the things, whatever it may be, right? And now I'm posting in there to people that have been curated and have already shown interest. That is the number one way to, honestly, for any business. I don't care if it's real estate. I don't care if it's e-commerce or whatever it may be, sharing that way. Instagram carousels. If you're not using these, I'm going to show you something kind of tricky here. It's super awesome. It goes back into Canva using thumbnails again. And I'll show you that here in a second. And then you're going to want to share a reel. The difference of reels and the difference of posting are very, very important. The reels took, oh, wow, that's a celebration. So I used an apple. So the difference of reels put you in front of people that are not subscribed to you or not following you. They're putting you in front of people that they think that it's curated, like a curated audience for your type of content. And then you're going to take that reel and you're going to share it to your story. Why are we going to share it to your story? Because at the top of every single page, how many of us actually are on Instagram as users, not as creators? Do we get stuck on Instagram or YouTube and all that every day? So at the top of Instagram, you have the stories. If your picture is always there and you always have a story, someone is always seeing your face, right? Before TikTok, it was 5 to 8 impressions for someone to recognize Didi's face as her local realtor. Now it's taking 12 to 16. Why? Because we have 1 second for short form, right? We have to make sure that we get 16 knocked out as much as possible. So Tanya drops a video, she posts it on her reel, she posts it on her page. And here's a great example of what I like to do for my pages. So this is a podcast. If you're looking for a heartfelt story, this is a great podcast. But here is the first one that we're going to look at. This is going to show up on the page. This looks almost like a YouTube thumbnail. Matter of fact, it is the exact YouTube thumbnail. I just used Canva and resized it into a square. That's the first picture. And then
The child soldier thing is real. So
I
when
take
watch,
that and I turn it into, I take a square video, and that's the
it's
second
moving,
video.
people ask me, is that really accurate?
Why is that necessary? Because Instagram is going to show either one of these. Either it's going to show the picture or it's going to show the video, depending on how that individual viewer looks at their content. Are they more photo based, or do they stay on reels and they're only watching video content all day? It's probably going to end up being the video content. But it also looks really nice on my page. It sits well, right? There's not a video on here. It doesn't look like these, right? It's the same thing, but always make sure that you've got some type of title or anything like that that's going on your video. Because if I'm just scrolling through the page, I want to see what it is that we're talking about. Tanya talking about being a certified badass, right? Now I want to know what makes her a certified badass. My outfit of the day, 5 love languages, whatever it may be. Something to tell. If I'm just scrolling through the page, that's my thumbnail. I want to know what it's about. But with new episodes, post a picture, post a video, and then that will be the better way. This is outside of the reels itself, because this is a reel here. Where did it go?
So now I'm running a shooting order.
This is a reel. This got shown to more people. This did, but more people like this because the algorithm is saying, hey, if you like pictures or you like videos, we've got the best of both worlds for you. Does that make sense? Awesome. Cool. I think that's it. I'm gonna pull up Canva real quick. I know I've gone over by 3 minutes. And then blog posts. Have a mailing
You are gonna
list.
come back and do an advanced Canva class for us, right? Canva for realtors.
Yeah, totally. We could do that.
Well, that'll be
but then
great. That'll be great.
your mailing list as well. Does anybody have a mailing list, or are you already collecting a mailing list via your website? If you don't have a mailing list, you're already losing. We just want phone numbers and emails, whatever free information that you have to give them that would make them feel like it's an equal trade for their contact information. Go ahead and give that to them, whether it's an ebook, whether it's a CMA. A lot of my agents will give out CMAs, and they'll run one of those. Hey, give me a call. Let's just figure out what's going on. What's your situation? Are you even in the position to buy a home right now? Right. Because when you do drop a new video, or you do have a special or whatever it may be, some of my agents are running like new builder specials. So if they buy a house with a new builder, they sent that special out to their entire mailing list, right? And that's just as simple as, hey, stay in touch, right? So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways, or actually more than 4 different ways, to make sure that one video gets in front of your entire audience every single time. So you're maximizing the chances and not hoping for someone to search for your video on YouTube, because there's billions. There's not enough time for the remainder of the earth for one person to watch every video on YouTube, right? So hoping that they're going to watch your video is, you're better off playing the lottery, truly. So here is my face again. I've got a couple different things that I do, at least with my agency. I've got a do-it-yourself program, which basically means that I'm going to walk you through. We're going to have consultations like this bi-weekly. I'm going to give you access to my platform, which I didn't go over it at all inside of here, but it is literally going to post everything for you. Those last steps, this step right here, can be completely taken care of all from my platform every time that you post, and it'll be done automatically. I'll make your thumbnails for you, or my team will make your thumbnails for you, and then I'll write your scripts. So all you have to do is go in there. Either you have an editor or you don't have an editor, or I've got the done for you where you just say, BJ, send me the scripts. I'm going to stand in front of here and I'm going to trust you to post everything. and we still have the consultation. So if you do like that, or if you just have questions, I truly, I love what I do. I love talking about this, if you couldn't tell. So please give me a call if you have any questions, whether that be the do it yourself, right? If that is a little bit more budget friendly, but if it isn't the budget and you are just ready to make a change in your business, the done for you. Not everybody applies for this. So let's definitely have a conversation if this is something because it is somewhat of a commitment. But I want to make sure that this would be a great partnership of some sort. But outside of that,
Can you
and this
tell me
little
a
thing
little
right
bit
here.
more about hold on, sorry. Can you tell me a little bit more about the done for you? Like, what do you do for people? And if you guys have to go ahead and go. We're going to have a recording of this. But I just know so many people, the hurdle of even making content is really hard. Once they get
Yeah.
over that hurdle of I'm too fat, or I don't know what I'm talking about, now I have the scripts, it is the next hurdle of how does all of this get done for you? What does that look like? And I know you're taking a few select people.
Yeah, so the done for you side, I make your scripts for you. Those get uploaded. You'll have the entire month's worth of scripts. So if you just carve out one day, most people will pick a day that they're not working, right? As agents, it's probably hard to find that day, but pick a weekend, film all of the scripts, right? And the way that this works is I typically go off of one video a week. So you'll have all of the scripts for those. You film those, upload them, and my team will upload them to YouTube. And this is even down to like, we're detailed. We're going to optimize your pages first. We're going to make sure your bio is right. We're going to make sure that your profile picture is working or is attractive. We're going to make sure that your links are all pointing to somewhere that is going to pull them off of that platform and into your pipeline. That is the number one place, because them sitting inside of YouTube and being a follower means nothing to you, truly, right? So if there's not a call to action, we're going to make sure all of your descriptions are right. So scripts, editing, all you do is sit down, shoot, upload it to your Google Drive, and my team will take care of it. The cool thing about that is that we're going to actually take all of your YouTube videos and break them up into short form content. I don't like to talk about like my competition or anything like this, but typically the way that my industry is based on their pricing is they'll give you a couple shorts every single, or like a reel, maybe 3 to 5, meaning like they'll post one a day. If I can get 15 pieces of short form content out of one video, I'm going to upload those for you, right? Because I'm not going to limit that based off of like, oh, you know what, she's only paying this much. I'm all about value. And if I can help you get the results that you're looking for, that's a win on my side, because my business is based off testimonials. If you're not getting the results that you're looking for, I'm not doing my job. Or realistic results, right? There's some results aren't as realistic, or expectations aren't as realistic. But after that, there's nothing else for you to do. All you do is just sit back and hope that your phone rings, right? But it does involve you filming the content. I can't do what I do unless you film the content. So if you are not in that position, give me a call. Maybe we start off with just some shorts. I would truly, if you're not already filming content, this isn't for you. The done for you is not for you. You're going to, if you're not in the position to, I don't want to say blow, but if you're not in the position to put in a significant amount of money for an entire team to edit all your content, and mind you, I'm not saying this is like $25,000, right? That's not what I'm saying at all. This is probably the best place for you to start. Let's ease you into this for maybe a couple $100 a month, right? Where we get you're going to have the platform that's going to post for you. This can even be for your daily post, right? I don't know if any of you use list reports. You could take all your list reports, shove them into my platform, and they will post automatically for you. All of that. And you never got to worry about it again. You can answer your messages in there, whatever it may be. But we'll do a deep dive on that at some point. But the do it yourself is more you do the editing or have somebody else do the editing for you. But I tell you what to say. I'll make the thumbnail for you. I'll fix the descriptions. I'll make sure the video is as optimized as possible for what is posted. And then we're going to consult. When your post drops, we're going to go back and we're going to look at the numbers. We're going to say, hey, here's what we do moving forward. And I think that just having someone to tell you where to go, right? Because right now I feel like a lot of agents are kind of just shooting from the hip, because there's a lot of agents who are adamant about getting content out there, but it's bad content. Let's just be honest, right? It's just bad content. what can we do to optimize this? Right it could be the ums that they're saying. It could be that their hook just isn't keeping people on long enough to even hear the great value, right? The people that did stick around got great value, but some of them couldn't get past the first 5 seconds, right? And that is a huge issue in itself. And then the thumbnails need to be as creative as possible, and there are some like tricks to the trade that we could be using for that as well. Cool.
BJ, what about the microphone that we use? Because some people have the worst audio. I see videos that have amazing audio, crispy, clear, and then I know there's some people that use fuzzy mics and regular lavalier mics. What are you
This is the
holding there?
microphone I'm using right now. This one's
What
plugged
is
into
it?
my phone, actually. This is just one of these little things. Here it is.
Mhm.
There's not even a brand on it. Or is my camera? This is like an
Okay, I see it.
Amazon brand of
Mm.
camera. You can use
Sounds
that.
good.
You can clip it on your shirt. Yeah, or you can also use there's another program called Adobe Podcast, and you upload the audio from Riverside into Adobe, and it will literally clean up your audio. Matter of fact, I've got a couple seconds here. Let's see this. I don't think I have it on this one anymore. Is it on this computer? But Adobe Podcast is like my favorite. It's getting there. A lot of it's still in beta, and I think I'm paying like $20 a month for it. But no, I'm not sharing my screen. Let's see. All right.
I'm in a
So-
conference room with the window open, and it's pretty echoey in here too.
Yeah.
Not the best place to record audio. Yet with
hear this?
enhanced speech, all of the background noise and echo is gone,
Oh, that's
as
much
if
better.
I recorded this in a professional studio. I'm in
So
a
the downside to using that is that there's on the free version there's 1 hour limits. So if you're filming a 30-minute video, you've got more than enough time. That's also possible. But the video file size is typically where I run into the issue. So I pay the extra couple bucks or whatever to upgrade that. And honestly, it gives me 2 hours, which kind of buys me some time. But yeah, that's another version. But honestly, if you're filming on a phone, you've got a great camera. If you've got an iPhone, you've got everything. Like you are already equipped with all of the equipment necessary. And then a ring light. Nice, cheap little ring light doesn't like lighting makes a complete difference. A complete difference of everything. Like I don't look this good often. I've got all my there's a lot of there's a lot of production that goes into this. We're hiding eczema and tattoos over here. But yeah, that's as far as the equipment, I can definitely send you some recommendations.
I love it.
Cool,
Well,
cool.
BJ, thank you so much. You guys, if you're not going to do all of this, your focus is supposed to be focused on real estate, right? Unless you want to turn into a YouTube master or master marketer and you have a little bit of money to throw at something, right? Figure out how in your budget you can do that, even if you invest in for 3 months to get started. It's important that you stand out from the competition by showing your value. This market is about show, not tell. A lot of people are telling people, oh, I'm showing houses and stuff like that, but they want to know, are you competent? Are you confident? Can you negotiate on my behalf? Do you even know what you're talking about? Are you following the NAR rules? How are you going to pivot? How are you going to help me make more money, save more money, and protect my assets? And so you got to figure out how to get on video. And you guys will be seeing more content from me now that I just got my license here in Colorado. Been licensed for 22 years in California, but I'm also going to go back into production and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that too. But I promise you, I'm pretty techie. And I still don't know how to put all this together. That's why I've been working with BJ. I don't know, maybe has it been like a year and a half now?
Something like that. Yeah.
And he's just shown me so much. And once I saw my YouTube channel growing and we had a system, it was just so much easier to make content and see the vision of it. And it's given me a massive amount of credibility. It's brought me way more opportunities than I ever would have had. And now I get to use the videos, like he said, to point people. I don't have to answer questions all the time. Oh, you need help with investors? Boom, here's a video. Oh, you need real estate help and coaching help? Here, go to my YouTube channel. And I just send people there. And then they get to know me and trust me and see me as that authority. So if you want to be the authority in your town, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done.
Yeah. That's perfectly said.
Well,
So
your
it's
stuff looks good, Tanya. I like the thumbnails on your videos because they all, like BJ was saying, consistent. There's something a little different in each of them, but they're all, I know that they're yours because they're all, there's like little blocks, little bricks, and you just click on them like, okay, this one's cool. This one, it's like whatever you need, it's there. And it keeps growing because it gets, that collection is growing, Tanya. But I like the look of it and everything. Is that BJ's work with the thumbnails or? Ah, okay, it looks really
BJ
good.
created the
Tanya,
thumbnails.
so Tanya has a VA that's running this that I'm teaching her team how to do. So like if it's not you and you've got a team, I'll teach your team. It doesn't have to be you. You just need somebody who is running your account. And that's honestly a lot of who I work with. I barely ever work with like the agent themselves. It's more, I don't know, most agents like pass the phone to the youngest person that knows how to use TikTok, right? But that's okay. That is completely okay because it's budget friendly and well, I don't know, maybe like their pay is their allowance or whatever, maybe. I don't know. But at least you're not giving a phone to a 16, 17-year-old kid who honestly doesn't know anything about marketing but knows how to post, right? So like if we just put some strategy behind your team, or even on the opposite end, you get like VAs who just aren't as in tune with like American culture or slang or things like that. That's a huge thing. Like I work with VAs every day who are completely capable of speaking and holding a conversation in English, but the confidence isn't there when it comes down to like, well, do I want to like, does this sound right? Does this make sense to you? Because it makes sense to me, but they're like in the Philippines, their English is more grammatically correct, right? I'm from California where we barely speak English anyway. So yeah. We- but it's so
Yeah.
true. So like, but having things that are local, especially with like I don't know. Sometimes there's like local slang, right? That could fall in line with that too. So that's not the only reason, but at least knowing that there's a strategy behind what you're doing, and you're not just posting because you know you're supposed to post that day. That's a horrible strategy. It's a horrible strategy, and it will get you nowhere, and it leads to disappointment 100% of the time.